and bought some trees, and they're being delivered. Shocker. And we're on our way to meet them right now. Trying to get up here close enough to get a picture. There's a goose over here right next to the pond road, and there's one in the pond. We've been seeing this pair of geese. We think it's a single pair, and we think that there might be a nest around here somewhere. I was trying to zoom the camera in, but that didn't work. The ongoing saga of fixing our electrical. We came in this morning, and we got the wiring straight in the bathroom. It is as it should be. We're happy with it. Took a little bit of time, and the reason it took a little bit of time is we just don't remember what it was we did. We did all this actually, this was actually last year that this was done. So we're getting back to it. This is a mess, but I'm about to fix that mess. This is one of those things that happens when it grows organically instead of starting off with a fully formed plan. Again, this goes back to my lack of experience. Everybody says, come in with a piece of paper, write everything out, figure it, plan it out. I'm sure people who've been doing this for a long time come in, take a look at it, and immediately know pretty much how they're gonna do it. This one started off with a switch over here, with a power feed over here, and then things changed up and the main switch became over there. Because of that, you started with the power running one spot, then running to another spot, then you had receptacles added to the side of that. There's a lot of cable going through the ceiling of this closet that doesn't need to. So the straightest shot and the things that would make the most sense now, looking at it, are not the way it was done. I'm about to change some of that because there's so much going on with that outlet over there. It just bothers me.
Building something yourself versus buying it can be very satisfying. For most people, the primary motivation to do it yourself comes from an economic position. But in the doing of it, they develop the skill set that allows them to express themselves in their own work, and eventually, many people realize that not only can they do it cheaper, sometimes they can do it better. I know that a pro would have finished this electric works a long time ago, and it would be a lot prettier. But when I'm done, I will know this house in a way that very few people ever do. And we will have saved almost half what it would have cost to hire it all out. Almost 30 years ago, when my oldest daughter was a toddler, a cheap bookcase was out of our budget, but a small stack of pine boards and a wooden dowel and some glue wasn't. I had an old drill that had belonged to my grandfather and a plastic bag full of random drill bits. So I drew out a plan on some notepaper, and I made a 3-shelf bookcase for the living room. I had to wait almost a month to buy the stain. It was completely hideous, but it was stable, and it worked, and I was both embarrassed and proud of what I had done.
Well, it took a little bit of effort, but this looks so much better than it did. It makes more sense. When you look at it, it's easy to understand. And when you put it on paper, it's going to be easy to map out and have an understanding of where everything goes. This first switch in the bedroom was an absolute disaster, and it's been limited down to 4 cables, which makes me really pleased. Penetrations are good, they're not overloaded. Everything is reasonable and well organized. It's easy to follow, easy to look at, and understand where the power is coming from and where it's going to. And the best part about it is that, with the exception of the line that I need to bring in here and stage so I can have power for the walls, for the outlets, this room is done. Correction, this room is done as soon as I put a light box on the wall of that cubby up there, which I'm going to take care of right now.
That first bookcase wasn't a museum piece by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a first step in a long journey toward learning how to do things for myself.
That's loud. There we go. That's pretty darn good. Nice and neat. Well, I took a break from the electric to take care of another task that I've been having a problem with. Now, I do have a screen ordered for this. I'm waiting for it to come in, hoping it'll be here this week, so we can stop having incarcerated bluebirds in our wood stove. But when the ice jam came down here and damaged the chimney cap this winter, it caused a break right here in the silicone that was sealing up that collar. And that storm collar is essential in helping to keep water out of there. The bottom line is, I gotta fix that. The thing I need to do is cut away that silicone that's on there, take the storm collar off, see if I can repair this storm collar. I don't think there are any breaks in the actual, and now I'm sliding down here. That's also not a good time. Yeah. I've got to take this apart and make sure that there are no breaks in this underlying flashing that I'm not seeing, because it could be broken there, and that would require a lot more interaction than what I was hoping for. So if I tried to just patch it, it's not going to hold. So the best thing to do is take this off, scrape all this off of here, and start over again. This is stainless, so it should hold up to a little bit of pressure from the razor knife as long as I don't score it. So I think the first thing I want to do is try to get this separated and out of here so that I can take it off with this seam already broken, it should peel off pretty easily. I just need to get this off here without breaking it. Otherwise, I'm gonna need a new collar. And that actually might be how it ends up going. What I need, you can see there's a big wad of sealant on there. So the only thing I can figure is that even though there's a big thing of sealant there, water's still getting down there between here and there because it's leaking onto the wood stove. And it wasn't doing it before that ice jam stuff. So I'm sliding down this thing like crazy. What I want to try to do is just slowly cut this heavy amount of sealant on here and peel this back. I'm bracing myself on the snow guards and hoping they can bear my weight. I mean, if they can handle ice jams, they should be able to hold me up. Yeah, all right, that's working. I may end up having to get a new collar, but it's working. All right, it's as I thought it was before. So it's not badly crimped here. There's no breaks. If I try to push it out, there'll probably be a break. There is a gap right there though. So that's not as smooth on there as it was before. But the first thing I need to do is get all this old crap off here. And then I guess we'll see about being able to fix it up after that. I was able to get it back on there. It's not siliconed on. I'm gonna get a new storm collar. Come on back here and put that one on properly. I do not see any point in putting silicone on that and then having to cut it off and fight with it the same way I just did that one. So we're gonna wait till we have everything we need, come back and fix it properly. Try to get that this week. That works. Not sophisticated, but it does work. Done. Well, it's a little crowded in here, but I've got a lot of equipment in here. It's going to be, some of it's going to be used in the build and some of it is going to be taken out of here when I'm done. But this wall is good. I've got all the power on it I need. Got everything satisfied. Things are nice and neat. I do need to tighten that line into that stud. But this, whoo, that's a lot going on right there. Let's see if we can't fix that. Now this is 5 coming in here. What's this thing allowed to hold? 20, 21. I've got 2 holes up here but I've got them all going through one hole. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna fix that.
There we go.
And I'll come back and deal with the neutrals later on. Well, I'm sliding down this thing here. I'm gonna sit down and put my foot against this snow catcher so it'll hold me up. Now, I made it back up here. Turn this here. I got the parts that I need. I'm gonna take this off. I only had it on there temporarily because it's mangled. I'm saying I'm gonna take it off here. I don't have my pocket knife. There we go. I know better than to actually use a razor blade trying to do that. I'll end up cutting myself, and that would be silly. All right, this one is mangled, so that is pretty much trash. I'd love to be able to push some of the bend out of this, but my fear is that when it bends back out, it's gonna split. I don't know. I'm gonna take one more look at it from underneath and see if there's anything I can do. Maybe I can push up on it a little bit with a 2x4 and get it to push out just a bit. But doing research, acetone doesn't really do much for this, so that's not the material to use. They're saying that one of the best things after you scrape it is isopropyl alcohol. Well, I used fuel alcohol on it the other day and that didn't really do much, so I don't think that's really the answer. I'm just going to get as much of the peelings of it off as I can so that when I put it back on, I don't have that stuff in the way. And I hate throwing this stuff down there because it took me 20 minutes to clean it up last time.
I cut a piece of wood and pushed up on it from underneath to see if I could get some of that bend out. But much as I expected, it doesn't do anything but mangle it just a little bit more. It's certainly not uniform, and I wouldn't say that it really helps much. But being kind of pig-headed, I tried it on both sides.
We'll see if I can clean the oxidation or whatever it is that's on here is making it slip. It could just be dirt and dust, but anything that I get off of it gives me a little better purchase is probably a good idea. Now, I don't know if the camera showed it, but I went down below and I cut a few strips of wood into the rough shape of a wedge to try and put uniform force against this and push it up. And like I worried about, it started to crimp it on those corners, so I immediately stopped. We're done with that. That's not the way. I'm going to apply this sealant. This is Rutland's 500 degree high heat silicone sealant. So I'm going to run a seal all the way around here. I want to make sure I seal this crevice right here and get the seal all the way around where I'm going to put that collar. That collar looks like it's just aluminum. Doesn't really look like it's much else. Can seal up just like that. It really doesn't really want to get too snug, does it? It does not. It does not fit. That's what it is. You gotta be kidding me. No way. Well, it's not big enough. I need one bigger because it's not big enough to go around this 6-inch Class A pipe. I mean, it just doesn't fit. I'll move on to the second part of what I was going to try and do. There we go. that ring off without dropping these screws. I'll just hang this one right here. My boots are really slippery on this roof today. I'm supposed to just place this over it. I'm not supposed to take that off. No assembly required. Okay. You telling me this is supposed to just go right over here and just sit just like that? Are you kidding me? I see the wind picking this thing up and taking it away from here. That's it. And that's going to stop the birds from getting in? I don't think so. I'm not seeing it. This can't be right. Alright, well, it's two things I'm going to do here. First thing, I'm going to take some pictures down the chimney just to see what it looks like and see how dirty it got with a little bit of burning that we did. I got a light down at the bottom of it, so that should be pretty good. Turn the light on. Turn the light on.
I wouldn't say that we burned a lot this winter, but I have to tell you, I feel pretty encouraged looking at that. Real clean.
Are you telling me that? I just can't see this staying on here. Well, I ain't sure if I've got it on here right or not, but I guess I'll put this band back on because that didn't need to come off anyway. Well, I guess that's about it. If that thing rattles in the wind, my wife's gonna have me taking it off, I know that. But if it keeps those birds from being able to work their way inside and end up inside the chimney, I guess it'll do all right for a while. That's it. Well, I'm gonna go get that other beat up skirt and put it back on here because this one's just not the right size. I guess I'll go ahead and call it a night. Got up here and did one little task after work. If I can keep picking at it like that, I'll chip a few things off my list. Come on back and see us again at BreakHeartOrchard, guys. Hit that like button on your way out here. And if you haven't already done so, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We'll see y'all next time.
There are a lot of requirements to get the certificate of occupancy for us to move into this house. One of those requirements is landscaping. When Jafana heard that, she took it to heart. Now she wants to live in a beautiful place too, but she has set about to get this place looking good so when the time comes that we can move in, it'll be a home. We all have to play to our skill set. Just like I've been working hard to source the materials for the build, she's been working hard to find the things that are necessary to grow grass, sometimes starting some of the grass in little cups and transporting it in plugs into the soil around the house. Scratching at it while I'm inside working on electric, she'll be out there with a hoe and a rake, turning the soil up in little patches, trying to amend it, get a little bit of lime worked in with some manure, and get the grass to grow around us. To take something like this on, you have to be a little stubborn and a little foolhardy. We all bring a great deal of our past experiences with us and our personality. She's plenty stubborn, and I'm plenty fool enough for both of us. And the more we work on this place, the more this is exactly where we want to be.